Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope you're all doing well, and happy Prime Day 2020. What a great way to kill some time during, well, these pandemic-y times, to otherwise go online and spend money on a bunch of stuff that we probably don't really need, but we're going to buy it anyway because it's a good deal. And yeah, let's get really right into it. Links will be down in the description below for anything that we talk about in this video. They are all affiliate links, which basically means it doesn't cost you anything extra, but I get a very small percentage kickback from Amazon. But over time, with dozens and hundreds of links being clicked, it does add up to help quite a bit with producing this channel. So I'd appreciate it if you do take the time to use those links. Even if you don't buy something that's in this video, even if you use that link, I actually get a kickback from anything you buy on Amazon, as long as it's basically stored in your cookies for like 24 hours or so. But first, today's video is brought to you by MMORC.com, where you could save money on games for all of your favorite platforms, as well as software like Windows 10 Pro, which you can get for just $15, as well as Office 2019 Pro and Office 365. And if you act right now, you can get an additional 27% off with my code JOK27 at checkout, and that'll knock the price down on Windows 10 Pro from $15.29 all the way down to $11.16. And of course, they accept a wide variety of payment, from PayPal to credit cards to Bitcoin. So be sure to act now and hit up the links down in the description below. So most of what we'll be talking about here today will be focused on PC gaming hardware. We've got some RAM, SSD deals, monitors, also a couple of kitchen gadgets, which I recommend. One that I actually picked up this morning, and some household type items. So let's get fired right into it, shall we? First up is a 16 gigabyte kit of RAM, which absolutely blew my mind this morning when I saw the price on this thing. It just doesn't even compute for me, because I remember when DDR4 memory first came out and spending like $250 on my first 16 gigabyte kit. And now you can grab a 3200 megahertz kit of DDR4 memory, 16 gigabytes, two 8 gigabyte modules from Crucial, their ballistics line, for $45. That's right, 45 bucks. Just an absolutely insane deal. It's got 5 stars here with 3,600 reviews, and even the regular list price of $70 is still a very good value compared to what RAM was going for just like over a year ago or so. There was RAM shortages at a time where the prices were coming back almost up to where when DDR4 first came out. So $70 would be a good price. $45, an even better price, obviously. If you need some extra RAM, grab this. Obviously you shouldn't be mixing RAM, but if you're only using 8 gigabytes, I'd say grab 16 gigs instead. Or maybe if you're planning a new build for the new Ryzen lineup and you are maybe still on DDR3, go ahead and grab this now. It'll definitely help you out if you are moving over to a new platform which requires DDR4 memory. Really great deal. I cannot believe how low the prices have come on DDR4 memory. Really good stuff. And the same holds true in terms of pricing for SSDs. These have been, pretty cheap for a while now. I'd say going back a year or two, SSD prices have been coming down significantly. And yeah, today is no different. We got a bit of a deal here on the Crucial MX 500. I gotta stop dragging over those things. It messes everything up. Crucial MX 500, 1 terabyte SATA drive. This is a SATA SSD, 1 terabyte drive. So it's not gonna be blazing fast or anything like that, but it's going to be fast enough. Definitely better than a mechanical drive. And if you are still one of those people out there running all of your games off a mechanical drive, cannot recommend picking up a SSD enough to be able to hold your games and get faster load times. This one is priced at $92. Very good value, and a solid drive. Not the fastest thing out there, but it's going to do the job, and your games are going to load significantly faster than if you are still stuck on a mechanical drive. Also, sticking with storage here, we have a 1 terabyte Western Digital Blue. This is an NVMe drive, so this is going to be a fair bit faster than the Crucial MX 500 SATA drive, and a lot easier to install, if I'm being honest. That's one of the benefits of NVMe or M.2 drives that maybe people don't talk about as much, is the convenience of being able to just pop it right onto your motherboard and you're off to the races and running. Don't need to run any cables or find a place, to install it, on a hard drive rack or anything like that. Pop it in the M.2 drive. It's a lot easier. This one's on sale for $100 down from 125. This is not going to be the fastest NVMe on the block, but it's going to get the job done with speeds up to 2,400 megabytes per second, which is still blazing fast. And, this is definitely one of the slower NVMe's out there, but 2,400 megabytes per second is still very, very fast. That's over 2 gigabytes per second. I don't know how you could complain about that. It's not as fast as PCIe Gen 4, and this is not a PCIe 4 drive, although it will work on PCIe 4 motherboards for the new Ryzen stuff. But you're not going to get those blazing fast speeds, which would be like double this. Those drives are still very, very expensive. You're looking for 1 terabyte, you're looking at least $200 and upward for the PCIe 4 drives. And honestly, unless you're using them for creative workflow and moving lots of large files all the time, you're really not going to need it. This is going to be more than enough if you're just looking to use something for a boot drive or to load up your games a little bit quicker. If you do need something a little bit faster than the Western Digital Blue drive at 2,400 megabytes per second, you could also grab the Western Digital Black drive. This is their higher end, faster NVMe storage drives. This is really one of the best drives that they make. List price is usually $250. This is on sale for $120, which is, I think, the lowest that I have personally ever seen this drive. I've never used one of them, but I've always wanted to. I just like the look of it, even though you would never see it anyway, and it's going to be in your system, very likely covered by some sort of built-in motherboard heatsink. But for $120 for a 1 terabyte NVMe drive and a very fast one that I believe the read and write of this is around 3,500 megabytes per second, so a full gigabyte faster than the Western Digital Blue drive. Now, if you are just using it for gaming, there's really no reason to spend the extra $20 on this, but it's nice to have, I guess. But unless you really are moving around very large files from one drive to another, you're probably not going to see much benefit from the Western Digital Black drive versus the Blue if you're just wanting to load games quicker. And even so, even just the standard Crucial SATA SSD would still get the job done. You're not going to notice a significant difference between any of these three drives that we're talking about here, just for loading up games quicker. It's really going to only be for moving around files, very large files around through multiple drives inside of your system. So keep that in mind. Any of these drives are going to be absolutely fine for loading games quickly. Next up, we've got a couple of monitors from Acer, one of which I've tested, but not this one right here. But this one is a really great price at $255. This is a 27-inch 1440p IPS FreeSync monitor with, I believe this is the this is IPS, so this is going to be a 4 millisecond response time. So not blazing fast, but it's got 1440p, 144 hertz, and FreeSync support. Not too sure about the G-Sync certification on this monitor, but in my experience, the vast majority of FreeSync monitors now do work with G-Sync if you have an NVIDIA graphics card. But I would definitely say if you're going to pull the trigger on this and using G-Sync with an NVIDIA card is important to you, maybe search up the model number on the online forums and see what people are saying about it. But most cases it's probably going to work fine, but definitely do your due diligence there. Search on some forums, search Reddit, and see what people are saying about the VG271U with G-Sync compatibility if this is something you want to pick up, because it is a very good value. Another one here, which I can highly recommend at this price of $380. This is the XB271HU. This is a monitor that I have tested, and I actually owned the predecessor to this, which was the XB270HU, which was really in the first ever generation of the 1440p 144 hertz monitors. So the original one, the 0HU model that I owned and had for several years, had quite a number of issues. It had like a glossy stand, backlight bleeding, IPS glow, and that was something that was present on all of those early generation 1440p high refresh rate displays. And with the second generation, with this one right here, they actually ironed out a lot of those issues, redesigned the stand, slimmed out the bezels quite a bit, put these big clown shoe feet on the bottom of the monitor for the stand, but at least it was matte black and matte red, I guess, kind of like a satin finish, really. And they got rid of the glossy finish on there, so that was very nice, and they kept the specs there, 1440p, 144 hertz IPS, really solid display. Really didn't have any complaints about it, and $380 compared to what they were at the time, which was like $700-800. I mean, you can see now regular list price is $700. They've been down. It seems like the regular price is kind of $550 is really what they're selling for nowadays. But with this Prime Day deal, it's going for $379.99. So really good deal on offer here, and this is native G-Sync built into it, so you're not going to have to worry about compatibility or anything like that. It should work straight away. Next up, we actually have a few Kitchen gadgets, I know a little bit outside of the norm for what we talk about in this channel, but the last time we did a Prime Day or a Black Friday deal, I talked about the Instant Pot, and a lot of people were actually really excited about it, and I saw this one listed earlier today, and you can actually see that I just bought this today. So I have not actually used it myself yet, but I have looked into it, and yeah, it sounds like a very solid product, and it's got some pretty exciting features on it, for me at least, for cooking in the kitchen, things that I've wanted to do for a while. And a slow cooker, you know, it's mainly a slow cooker, that's what it has, but it has a bunch of other options on there as well that you can utilize, like roast and stuff. So using this as a slow cooker or a crock pot is something that I'll be using. I'll use this to replace my current crock pot, which is an 8-quart. This is an 8-quart as well. But the main thing was the fact that it has sous vide. Now, if you're not familiar with sous vide is basically when you can take something like a steak and you put it in an airtight bag, you know, using something like a food saver, and then you actually submerge it in water and you keep it at a controlled temperature so that it cooks perfectly every single time. There's a YouTube channel called Sous Vide Everything. You want to go check him out. He does tons of stuff on everything on sous vide, really. But the idea is that, let's say you want a steak cooked medium rare. You set it to 135 degrees on this thing. You know, you seal your steak in a bag and then it's submerged in water. So you're not boiling your steak. Your steak is protected from the water inside of the airtight bag. And then you cook it for 2 hours, and then the inside is going to be the exact temperature that you set it at, exactly 135 degrees, which is perfect medium rare, which is where I would personally want to have it. So the sous vide function on this is really the main reason I got it. It's regularly priced at $150 right now. It's on sale for $70. And I'd been wanting to do sous vide for a while, but the thing that was holding me back was the cost of entry getting into it. Because if you want to get a good sous vide machine for the heating element, you're looking at $200 upwards. Then you have to get a container with a lid because the water evaporates. You know, you got to get racks and stuff and weights to hold everything down. This has a rack that comes with it. It's got a lid built into it. It controls the temperature, so it really kind of does everything. So that's really the main reason I picked it up, is so that I can use the thing to sous vide some nice ribeyes and cook them that way. And then after you're done sous videing them, what you do is you pat them dry and then throw a really quick sear on it in a really whipping hot cast iron pan, or you could toss it in the grill. You can even use something like a blowtorch to put a sear on the thing, and you basically get a perfect cooked every time without really any effort on your part other than just dropping it into this thing and waiting a couple of hours for it to cook. So really excited to actually get this in and try it out. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see a dedicated review on the Instant Pot or a Pro and using it for sous vide. Next up is the regular Instant Pot. Now, oh yeah, so maybe you've heard of Instant Pot. The other one that we were just talking about with the sous vide, this is, even though it's called Instant Pot, that is a brand. So this doesn't actually do the pressure cooker stuff like normal Instant Pots do, which is kind of what they're known for. But this one does, and I've actually talked about this in the past. I have a lower end model than the one here that's on offer, but this one is actually better. The one I have is this one right here, which is the 8-quart 7-in-1, which is $99 right now, and it's fantastic. I have absolutely no complaints about it whatsoever, but this is a slightly updated model. It's got a better readout on the display. It's actually larger at 10 quarts, so you can't really complain about that. And it is a 7-in-1, just like the one that I am using. This is regularly $150, and it's on sale for $100. And if you're not familiar with pressure cookers at all, they're really great. You could do a lot of things in this as well. You can use it for a slow cooker also. But the main, benefit of having the pressure cooker is if you have like a cut of meat, like let's say a pork shoulder or a chuck roast that maybe you would want to cook low and slow for like 6 to 8 hours, you can take that and put it in the Instant Pot, and using pressure, it actually cooks it insanely fast. Like something that might take 3 or 4 hours, you could possibly cook in 20 minutes inside of an Instant Pot. So if you have that type of lifestyle where, you work all day, you want to be able to come home and get something in there and eat it quickly, and maybe you didn't have the foresight to put it in the morning for a slow cook, you could put it in there and basically get the same exact results. You honestly aren't losing anything by doing this. They've been used in restaurants for ages, for decades and decades. They've used, stovetop pressure cookers and stuff, which can be quite dangerous, but these things kind of make it a lot safer as they, digitally are locked, and you can't open it until the pressure has been released and all that stuff. So very safe to use. I've been using one for over a year now. You have March 29th, 2019. We bought the 8-quart model, and we love it. We use it all the time for dishes, and can't recommend it enough, honestly. So definitely check that one out as well with the link down in the description. Next up, a household item. This is the Ring Video Doorbell, which I'm sure many of you have heard of. If you could go ahead and slap this onto your house for a doorbell, and it's also got a security camera built into it, which has motion detection. These are regularly $100. This is on sale for $70, and this is the 2020 model of the Ring Video Doorbell, which I do not currently own, but it's something that we've wanted to get for a while, and I'm probably going to end up buying one of these today because I'm a cheap ass and it's on sale for $70. So we will probably end up picking one of these up, and you've probably seen them around before. Most people probably already know, what these things are. I just wanted to bring it to you guys' attention as it's on sale for $70. It can help keep your home safe. And yeah, honestly, you don't even need have your house wired for a doorbell or anything. That was something I was concerned about. I thought maybe you did, but you don't. It's actually battery powered. It just has a small plate that you kind of screw onto the outside of your home, and then it hooks onto there securely. And then you can charge it. It has a rechargeable battery, which they say lasts anywhere from 6 to 12 months based on, how much activity is outside of your home. So if you have people constantly walking past, like maybe if you live like street level in the city or something like that, then maybe you're going to have a lot more activity. You might have to recharge it more frequently. But they say 6 to 12 months is how long the battery should last without recharging. So it's not like you're going to have to unscrew this thing off your house like every 2 days and plug it into charge, which is a big selling point to me. That was another thing I was kind of concerned about. So that's why I'm probably going to end up pulling the trigger on one of these guys later today. Last up, but certainly not least, we have a CyberPower sine wave UPS, or uninterruptible power supply. This is the 1,000-watt big boy. So this is going to be absolutely perfect for keeping your system running if you happen to lose power, and also protecting it from things like brownouts, which can definitely damage the components inside of your PC. You can take this, you can hook up your PC, your monitor, your second monitor, your router, and in the event of a power outage, this should keep you up and running for a good while, probably about maybe a half hour or so, or definitely enough time to go ahead and, save your work, shut down your PC, or finish that game of Call of Duty before you lose all your progress or something. So I cannot recommend these enough for protecting your components, and also so you can keep things up and running. And honestly, for something like a router, this can save you from, still having Wi-Fi in the event of a power outage, which can last for several hours or days. And as long as, you shut down, if you had a PC and a router all hooked up to it, if you shut down your PC and your monitors, which are going to be the biggest drain of power on the UPS, and you just had a Wi-Fi router running off of it, modem or whatever, then it's going to run for quite a while. I'm talking about several hours at least. You should be able to run a Wi-Fi or modem, router, whatever, combo unit off of one of these things plugged into it, as long as your PC and everything else is shut down. So for something like that, very convenient, so you can still have some entertainment when the power goes out in case you have a bad or shoddy cell phone reception or whatever. So definitely recommend one of these if you do not own one yet. This one's on sale for $210. It's one of the best ones on the market. Usually these are selling for $250. $210 is not the cheapest I've seen them. 1 year for Black Friday, I saw these all the way down at $125, and I bought 2 of them. And I have never seen them at that price again before or since, at least from when I've checked on things like Prime Days and Black Fridays, Cyber Mondays. Every time I check, the price has never gone as low as $125 again. This is about the lowest I've seen. I think the lowest maybe otherwise I've seen is $199. Other than that $125, it was that one Black Friday, which sold out very quickly at that price. Glad that I grabbed the 2 that I did when I was able to. So definitely check one of these out if you have not yet. But I have got nothing else for you guys. That is the last link for the Prime Day deals. Be sure to check those out down in the description below if you want to pick up anything that I showed in this video. Again, I get a small kickback if you choose to buy anything on there. Thank you for watching this video and hanging out with me today, and I'll see you tomorrow for another one.